Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Fortress of Comic News, episode 282. I am one of your hosts, Chris, alongside my co-host, Mike. Sorry for the burp there, Mike.
Nice. I enjoy it. It's all good. You know, you're getting a little chest pains and agita from your football team. Maybe blowing a game today, so understandable.
Oh, yeah, we'll see in the middle of this. If I get really angry in the middle of this recording, you all know what happened.
Start smashing things like the Hulk. Yeah. Man, it's I completely forgot D23 was this weekend. Saw some shit about like a Mufasa movie. And I was like, I don't know about that, but
do we need a Mufasa origin story?
No, we really don't.
That's what I'm thinking.
That kind of takes away. It kind of takes away from the weight of Lion King, right? Because he dies at the beginning. Spoiler alert! But
and like you want to think of Mufasa as this like golden, like this perfect ruler. Like
yeah,
you don't want any flaws in that character because his death means so much to the story. Yeah, I don't understand.
Right. Everything's reboots.
We have an interview this week, Mike.
Oh yeah, we do have an interview. Sorry, not to be the downer here, but we do have an interview this week. Jonathan Schnapp will be on the show. We'll be chatting later about what he's got going on. I believe it's Kickstarter. But yeah, so I guess we'll just jump right into the news because there's quite a bit from the whole D23 crap. I guess we'll start with TV. Lots of Star Wars stuff, of course, because why not? Star Wars is the moneymaker. Star Wars Ahsoka will feature live-action debut of the Star Wars Rebel character Ezra Bridger. Ezra will be played by Iman Esfandi, who was the Star Wars Disney live-action. He was in the adaptation of Aladdin live-action version, so good for him. I don't know who that character is. I'm sure you do.
I do, and he was since it was a cartoon, he was the little kid that the kids were supposed to relate to, like training to become a Jedi after the fall of after episode 3, basically. And his character is pretty cool. He had a unique little lightsaber. It had like a little blaster gun on it. You know, it was fun. Cool. But yeah, if you're gonna do Ahsoka, especially with Ahsoka's role in Rebels, you have to bring in some of these characters. Hopefully, we get more of them. But yeah, I'm really excited for the show. Like really, really excited for the show.
Yeah, I think Rosario Dawson did a great job too.
Yeah, I just love Ahsoka. Like she's one of my favorite Star Wars characters right now.
Yeah, I think they did a really good job in Mandalorian with her. We got our first look at the Star Wars anthology series Tales of the Jedi. The series will feature same animation as Clone Wars and Bad Batch, being developed by the same team, but I think it's just going to be like 6 episodes, right? They're shorts.
Yeah, like it looks like they're going to be like 10, 15 minutes a pop.
Yeah, but it's cool they got some characters in there, like I saw Mace Windu and stuff, so that'll be sick.
Yeah. Well, once again, get an Ahsoka episode, which, you know, I'm fine with more Ahsoka. But I'm more excited for Count Dooku before he turns to the dark side.
Yeah, we get to see him as a Jedi, which is pretty sick.
Yeah, we saw... it was like a quick glimpse, but I'm pretty sure we saw Yoda with hair.
Yeah, I didn't see that, but it'd be funny to see that. I guess he does. He is like... In Return of the Jedi, he has hair like he's been balding for hundreds of years, so...
Yeah, he looks like an 80-year-old man who's been like losing his hair at the end of his life.
Yeah, so I guess it would make sense if he has hair. Does that mean Grogu will grow hair?
That'd be phenomenal.
If he gets like a mohawk or some shit?
Or they just give him like a straight emo cut.
Oh, yeah.
Like that, over the face, funny. Like...
Yeah. Oh my god, please.
Especially later in life, like, you know... Mando dies. He's all like emo about it.
Yeah, listen to My Chemical Romance and shit.
Call me Star Wars. I got ideas.
Yeah, he's got them all.
I obviously I love Bad Batch. I love Clone Wars. I like the animation here. I like that this is kind of their animation style for their animated things now, and
yeah,
I'm excited for this. I'm excited for all this stuff. It all looks just so great.
And there's more of it. Bad Batch season 2. We got a premiere date January 4th, 2023. So can look forward to that.
Bad Batch
I know
season
you
1 was
enjoyed
great.
the first season. Yeah.
Yeah. So more of that. Do it. Do it.
Do it. Star Wars Ando is premiering later this month. We got a new trailer for the show. So yeah, that's later in September. It's coming out. That one looks sick.
Yeah, and that looks unique too. Like it's a war story.
Yeah,
it's an insurgent story. So I'm really excited for that.
I think it looks the most like cinematic out of all the shows so far.
And I like that they're bringing in a lot of the team that worked on Rogue One to like bolster out the story more.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. Not to be left out, we had some news about Marvel.
Hold it.
Oh,
you skipped the Mandalorian,
oh my God,
sir.
I skipped the I was saving that for the end of the Star Wars. Yeah, Mandalorian season 3 got its first trailer. What did you think?
It looks great. I love the first 2 seasons. I loved Mandalorian season 2.5 as well.
So he's good.
I like that this seems we're going to get more on Mandalore. We're going to get more with the other Mandalorians. And it's kind of back to what made season 1 great. Like those two together going on adventures, trying to figure out what to do with Mando's leaving his order and all this. Like and at the same time being the leader of the Mandalorians. Like this is the most excited thing I have coming up. Like, love this show, love this trailer, can't wait to get more of it.
Yeah, they're doing great shit with Mandalorian, that's for sure.
And returning characters.
Returning characters. I can't wait to meet the new characters that pop up that we don't get to see yet.
A lot of new Mandalorian characters from like old animated series and stuff like that too. So good stuff.
Yeah. And then they're like, okay, now you got all the Star Wars stuff. Time to talk about Marvel. Disney announced that coming to Disney Plus October 7th is the MCU's Werewolf by Night, alongside Black and White trailer paying homage to that. Now I forgot about Werewolf by Night. What is that going to be?
It's a dude who turns into a werewolf.
Is it a live action though?
Yeah. If you watch the Black and White trailer, it's paying homage to like old like cult horror movies and stuff.
Yeah, Boris Karloff
especially like the old, and the Universal monsters, all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
And then they quickly at the end like turn it to color, which makes me think that the show will be in color.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not a big Werewolf by Night fan, but if you're gonna do a Halloween special, you got to do Werewolf by Night, like.
Right.
So we'll see. I'll watch it, but it's a we'll see situation for that one.
We'll have to wait and see. They also dropped the Secret Invasion trailer, and I haven't watched this yet either, featuring the return of Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury. And I was hoping he'd be back. Why wouldn't he?
He has to be back. I mean, Nick Fury is going to be the star of the show. You'll love this trailer too, because it's just an action movie. It reminds me a lot of the cinematics of it. Remind me of Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Nice.
And it's got like a grizzled old Nick Fury with a big white beard, and
hell yes,
all these returning SHIELD agents that we've known throughout the MCU. This one feels the most like Infinity Saga MCU to me. So out of everything we got, I think this is the thing I'm most excited for, because it does feel more like that era that like was just banger after banger after banger. So yeah, this one's gonna be great. I can't wait for it.
So this one has like weight to it.
Yeah, and it's a cool story arc too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, anyone doesn't know, it's the Skrulls come and they basically infiltrate everything by turning, they're shapeshifters, so they turn to humans, take over spots of people. So Nick's kind of like running around. He doesn't know who to trust because anyone could be a Skrull. It's a cool storyline.
Good for him for getting like the lead on a movie too.
Oh, yeah, a show, but yeah.
Oh, show, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
But at least he's he's finally got the spotlight on him.
Yeah. It was good to see Aunt Robin back as the SHIELD agent.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot about her. Yeah, that'll be sick. I'm excited for that. And She-Hulk episode 4, you watched that?
I did. I'm not gonna talk too much about it because I just not digging it.
Yeah,
I was not doing it. Some bright spots. Actually, the bright spot of it is there was a magician in this episode, like a stage magician, who was named Donnie Blaze.
Wow.
And it's played by the actor who played Billy Walsh in Entourage. So the second he pops up, I'm like, it's Billy Walsh.
Yeah, right.
Other than that, I don't have much good to say. Like the breakout character, this like random 20-something party girl who's like drunk the whole time and slurring her words. I don't understand why people are obsessed with her.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it. But I'm literally at the point, there's that meme going around of I watched She-Hulk for the plot, and that says the plot, and it's a picture of Daredevil.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at right now. Like,
you're just waiting for him to pop up.
I know Daredevil's showing up in the last episode. Yeah.
You might just have to just skip to that part. I'll probably watch the clip on YouTube. Yeah, and as far as shows, I got to catch up on Rings of Power this week. But the first 2 episodes were awesome. We talked about that. Have you watched Rings of Power yet or no?
No.
So, yeah, I'm hoping episode 3 talks about, because the second episode, I don't think I talked about this on here, ends with a dude falling from the sky like a comet and like landing and like creating a crater, and then he's like this dude with a beard, because that's how the wizards all arrive. They arrive as like comets and like land on the earth, and like that's how the episode ended. Like this dude lands and he's like an old guy with a beard, and he like sucks in all this energy. So people are speculating like which wizards that could be, because throughout the like Lord of the Rings history, we've gotten like the gray, the white wizard, the brown, maybe some blue wizards. So pretty sick to see that happening, like getting more wizards in the universe, because we love magic.
I'm gonna call it now. It's the turquoise wizard.
Turquoise, nice.
Yeah,
there you go, nailed it. So I gotta watch that. But the Hot D, House of Dragons, still good stuff. Really crazy fight scene. In the last episode, Matt Smith's character, he basically like his brother, who's king, was like, I'm going to help you because it'll make you seem weak and you won't want to take over the kingdom. And then he's like, no, I don't want my brother to help me because it'll make me look weak. So he literally like runs in to this like fortified like pirate camp of like hundreds of dudes and just starts fighting them all. And it was insane. Like just literally slaughtering dudes like one at a time. Yeah. Okay. Movie news. So before we talk about the news, I did watch Nope. Did I talk about this already?
You talked about it last week, yeah.
I did. Okay. Yeah. So that was good, and I want to see what came out last weekend, the horror movie. I think it's called Barbarian or Barbaric or some shit like that. I don't know if you've seen the trailer for that, but it looks sick. Like this girl stays at an Airbnb, and there's like already a guy there, and like some creepy shit happens.
I've never heard of this movie.
Yeah, it looks crazy because it's like all like the title's like all red and black, and it's called like Barbaric or something like that. Or yeah, I don't know. I want to see it, but all right. So obviously with D23 going on, we got more MCU movie news. We talked about Mufasa. Who cares? We know about all the parts coming together for Captain America 4. Danny Ramirez from Falcon and Winter Soldier's back. He'll be playing Joaquin Torres, who becomes the Falcon. Also, Tim Blake has joined the cast as the villain, the leader. And finally, the film has director Julius Ona, who is best known for Cloverfield Paradox. I don't know anything about the leader. Do you know some stuff?
Yeah, it's a Hulk villain. It's a gamma radiated person who, instead of becoming like buff and angry, just like it gamma radiates his brain or something like that.
Oh, all right.
It's an interesting choice. I don't know how I feel about that being the Captain America villain, but
I feel like with a name like the leader, they're going to get into some like Nazi regime shit. I don't know.
I can't remember. I don't think he's Nazi regime. What I really hope, because not to get super political, but what I really hope is that they don't turn him into like some white supremacist.
That's what I'm getting. I didn't know anything about the character when I saw his name was the leader. I'm like, that's all I could think of.
I could be. So, I mean,
yeah.
Listen, we talk a lot, and I'm having trouble remembering exactly his origin, but I don't remember him being that. I could be wrong. So anyone out there that's getting mad at me right now because like he definitely was the whole time. I just don't remember that being his character. So I hope that's not the role they're going with here because it's just too obvious.
Right.
Especially like you got a black Captain America, so of course he's gonna fight. I mean, okay, but I'm not for it. Joaquin Torres is okay as Falcon. He's in the new Cap book as well. He's been around for a few years now.
Okay.
I'm not I prefer Sam as Falcon personally, but he's not bad.
Yeah. Well, someone's got to take over while he's Cap.
Right? Or you could just not do Falcon.
Yeah, you don't really need a Falcon, right? Yeah, that's true. He's not a strong enough character, anyways. Not character, but like superhero.
It's Falcon in the comics is even different than Falcon MCU. So I'll be interested. Right. I mean, I doubt they're going to go the comic version of this Falcon because the comic version of this Falcon is basically his genes were spliced with Falcon DNA, so he literally is half Falcon.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's weird, but it kind of works. He'll probably end up getting like a suit like Sam did in the movies, but yeah. I'm optimistic about Cat 4. I'm just worried about some of the parts. Like I said, the leader being the villain, even if they go the straight leader that I'm thinking in my head, not my favorite villain, but
yeah. It seems like they're running out of villains that like, or they are holding on to some that are going to be like bigger threats in the overall MCU, so they don't want to like pull from that barrel yet.
I would rather see, for a Cap movie with Sam, I would rather see Crossbones come back.
Yeah.
I think it's a good villain to go against Sam. He has a simple motive, which is just he wants to kill Captain America. Like,
right. That's all you need.
And it could be a fun fight scene. So, but yeah, this is what we're getting, and I'll go see it when it comes out.
Yep. This is interesting. Marvel's Fantastic Four reboot has a director in Matt Shackham, who's worked in TV, including episodes of Game of Thrones, and executive producer on WandaVision, so he does no big battle sequence stuff and characters. I mean, WandaVision was fantastic. So yeah, I mean, we're slowly creeping up to the fact that we might have a Fantastic Four movie that doesn't suck. So
yeah, he's also, I mean, I think this is a rumor, but I think he was announced as the director of the next Star Trek movie too.
Oh shit.
That they've been trying to make for like 20 years now.
Yeah, I know.
But wow. I like that background because that means that the story can be more based around the family and less around the super team. And I think Fantastic Four works better as a family story.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I like that. Yeah, like just them with each other rather than like we got to go battle something big. So
well, at the end of the movie they're gonna fight Doom or something. Like they got to fight something. But like, yeah, if he can focus more on like them as a family and what they do, that is a positive in my eyes.
Okay. we know the cast of Thunderbolts movie, and this is as follows: U.S. agent played by Wyatt Russell, Ghost, and he was a crazy U.S. agent. That guy is like terrifying in any part he plays. Ghost played by Hannah John Kamen. Okay. Red Guardian is back, played by David Harbour. That's hype.
I'm down. That was my most excited of this whole cast.
Yeah, that was sick. Winter Soldier, played by Sebastian Stan. Okay, awesome. And then leading the team is Valentina Allegra de Fontaine, played by Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Awesome. No, there's no White Widow here though. Or
oh, I missed White Widow. Yeah, she's in it as well.
Yeah, Florence Pugh. I mean, you can't have not her. You can't not have her in it. She's such a huge actress right now.
Yeah, and she's phenomenal in that role.
Yeah, she's really good.
I see some like I'm a big Thunderbolts fan. I see some people are upset because this isn't the Thunderbolts, and they're right. But I knew coming into this in my heart that Thunderbolts was going to be them trying to do Suicide Squad.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that was pretty obvious what Marvel was doing in the MCU.
Yeah.
So with that as my backdrop, I'm fine with this.
Mm-hmm.
I like that Sebastian Stan's Winter Soldier's in this group. He has led the Thunderbolts in the past. And I like all the other characters here. Ghost is probably my least favorite of the group because her character in Ant-Man 2, I think it was, was kind of like a decent villain, but that's not the reason I watched the movie.
Right.
Where a lot of these other ones, those villains were a big part of their movie or show, and I loved it. So
yeah,
I'm excited for this now.
It's just weird you have almost everybody with the same power set here, you know? Like Winter Soldier, US Agent, Red Guardian.
Basically everybody's a super soldier except for Ghost.
Yeah. Oh, that's true, yeah. White Widow, they're all super soldiers pretty much.
Basically, I mean, White Widow is basically a super spy, but you can make the argument. Right. I did watch Black Widow fall from the top of a 3-story building and get right up.
Yeah. True.
U.S. Agent obvious, Red Guardian obvious, Winter Soldier obvious. So, yeah, you're right. But I think there's going to be a cool back and forth, especially Red Guardian, Winter Soldier. I think that could be the standout duo of this movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Like David Harbour's character was kind of funny. As Red Guardian, like conversing with Sebastian Stan. I think that'd be great. And also Red Guardian is White Widow's father too, so I'm sure there's gonna be shit like going on around that in the group.
Yeah. And Red Guardian's a Cap villain, so there could be some, you know, they could just real quick be like, "Oh, Steve told me about you," and then
that'd be funny. All right, everybody, we're gonna jump to this interview with Jonathan. You'll see Chris there, and then I'll be back on the other side with him.
And we're back.
We're back. Here we are, the other side, breaking the space-time continuum as we always do. Not a whole lot for comic news this week. Pretty lacking.
Not really.
DC has announced a new edition of Batman Hush for its 20th anniversary. It's going to feature an entire 12-issue storyline, tons of bonus material, and 5 new pages from the original team, Jeff Loeb and Jim Lee. Kind of, I mean, I don't know. It's a quick cash grab for sure.
Yeah. You know, another great anniversary.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically it. Like when the headlines came out and was like new Hush content coming from Jim Lee, and I was like, oh, okay. And I clicked on it and like 5 pages, really.
5 pages.
Like, I get it. Jim Lee's like running DC right now, but like you're not gonna give me to spend. I'm gonna guess $39.99 on a hardcover for 5 pages of Jim Lee.
I know. That's kind of the crazy part.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
and I like
if you've never read Hush.
Yeah, if you never read Hush, it's a great time to jump in. If you're a Batman fan, you already own this like I do on the shelf. It's not really that enticing to like get me to go buy something. Now, if you did what Marvel did and you get like Alex Ross to draw and write a story about Batman Hush and release like a special hardcover story like that, that's the way you do a celebrate an anniversary.
Or do a sequel.
Yeah, a sequel, like, an anthology book.
And Jim Lee's not going to do it. Like I said, he's running DC. He doesn't have time to be doing a book.
Right.
But like, if you brought Jeff in and said like, "Hey, do you want to do a sequel to Hush?" and he said yes, and then Jim does the covers, and you find whoever get Ivan Reese or one of their great artists on their staple, and have it happen. But this is kind of all right, guys.
Yeah. Okay, with that, I guess we'll just talk about what we read this week. Again, another week of Dark Crisis and Flashpoint coming out at the same time. Yes. I don't know how you felt about Flash. I mean, okay, we'll talk about Dark Crisis, Flashpoint Beyond, but Flashpoint Beyond was very heavy with. I feel like they were trying to fix a lot of things in this book. A lot of comic book science involved here. But maybe, I don't know if you want to save those for the end. Or
no, you're good. Let's go.
Okay. So Flashpoint Beyond, I mean, I don't know. Like, I noticed something at the beginning that, Jeff Johns was writing this book. And now he has like, I feel he has like a whole team writing it with him now. Right?
He's had that since the beginning. I've noticed that.
Okay. So there's a whole like conversation here about like trying to explain the whole omniverse thing again, and then there's like we find like there's a chalkboard with, I think that was supposed to be like Rip Hunters, who's a Time Lord's like, I don't know, like hiding spot where it says like 5G averted and stuff like.
Yeah, from issue 1.
Yeah. So anyways, they talk about that, and there's like the Divine Continuum, and then they circle the DC, and I'm like, okay, guys, like there's a lot of heavy comic book science. I think the root of it is like it's split into like, okay, there's the timeline, and then there's like the emotional thing, which is tied to like hyper time, and the emotional strain outweighs like the actual decisions being made. I don't know. But it's weird because in the issue it says 2 days after the Dark Crisis. Right? So,
in the beginning.
Yeah. And then they're talking about celebrate the return of the Justice League. But like in the Dark Crisis book, the Justice League isn't back.
Well, they're still in the middle of the Dark Crisis, so this obviously takes place after.
Yeah, but I don't know. Okay. So, I mean, that just...
I agree with your sentiment of, like, why would you spoil the end of the Dark Crisis, but it's not like anyone's fooled by the fact that the Justice League isn't coming back at the end of Dark Crisis.
Yeah, it was just, like, weird to be like, okay, so the middle of this book is like, okay, this is after... Or just say like, takes place after the Dark Crisis. And, like, 2 days after the Dark Crisis, just so specific. And then they get back into... So after the whole, like, talking about the timeline with Mr. Terrific, after the Justice League comes back, there's a whole attack on this Mrs. Baxter's lab, so, we don't know what's going on with her. And that's taking place in the real time, and then we go into the Flashpoint timeline, because, well, in that timeline, the normal timeline, Batman's talking with Ra's al Ghul, and he's like, hey, I got your dad's ashes here, and I've been talking with people who are Time Lords. And then he's got a picture of Marionette and Mime together. Don't really know why yet, but we get back to, the Flashpoint Batman. He's driving to Arkham because we find out the Clockwork Killer is Martha Wayne, Joker, and Batman has like a whole fight with her, and then she basically offers him like, listen, I've been killing all the people that are associated with time travel to find out about them, and I stole one of the time spheres, which he traveled through hypertime with, obviously, and she offers Thomas Wayne Batman to go save their son with her. Which is, it's like, all right. Do you think he'll accept? He'll probably accept, I feel like. I don't know.
I gotta assume so. It's a weird turn.
And then they talked about, like, they forced the whole 3 Jokers thing on us again and talked about one of the Jokers being a Time Lord. In that whole conversation with her. She's like, I wasn't the original, the other Joker was a man, and he was like a Time Lord, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay. I think it's interesting, though, that she finds out there's a way to save her son and, like, realizes, like, we can go back and do that.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that she's not completely lost it, like, she's not the Joker completely yet.
Yeah.
I thought this was my least favorite of the issues so far, because it was a lot of, like, info dump.
Yeah.
And also a lot of, like, let's try to explain why this trash that John's been writing these past few years is actually important.
Yeah.
When, like, the fan base as a whole does not like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, I mean, the ending was interesting. I still enjoy the book overall. There's just something... Flashpoint is an important book for me in my DC reading. It's the one that really made me realize that I enjoy DC comics.
Yeah.
So I still enjoy the aesthetic of it. But yeah, the story itself is a little wonky in this issue. But we'll see if he's still got a couple more issues to wrap it up.
And then, like, Rip Hunter shows up into the Batcave and is like, you know I'm here? And Batman's like, I won't let you interfere. But we really don't know what Batman's doing, right?
I'm starting to get the feeling that, like, this whole paradox, the Flashpoint paradox, if you will, is happening in that globe, and that globe is holding in the hyper time that's keeping that timeline together.
Oh, I see.
And I think that Bruce is trying to save Thomas from it.
Interesting.
And this might be the way for the Time Lords to fix the mistake of Thomas Wayne being in the regular timeline still. That's the feeling I'm getting. But they've done a piss poor job of explaining what's going on in that area of the story. Yeah,
it's just like, like by the end I'm like, oh, I forgot this, like, Time Hunter was in the Batcave. We don't know why. And then Rip Hunter shows up and is like, I'm not going to let you do this. And it's like, okay, what's happening here?
Yeah, they should have either done a backup story or a one shot that explained what Batman was doing with the Time Lord. Like,
that being said, though, I enjoyed Dark Crisis this week.
Yes.
I thought that was a great issue. So let's talk about something we enjoy. So Dark Crisis 4 out of 7. It's, Justice Society is helping out where, the new heroes can't really, are like falling short. Great conversation between Nightwing and Alan Scott. I thought that was really cool. Where they're talking next to Garth, Beast Boy, who's like recovering in the hospital.
Yeah.
We know that Black Adam goes to the Legion of Doom because he's like sick of the Justice League not having what it takes, meaning that they want he wants them to like kill the bad people, and then Deathstroke's army shows up that he's kind of controlling, and he's like taken over by the darkness, and so they have to fight with Deathstroke now, and then we go to the into one of the Justice League Earths, the worlds without Justice Leagues, and we see like the Green Lanterns fighting. And we know that, like, you know, Pariah is using the might of the Justice League to, like, end the universe kind of thing. And you have Hal Jordan and the Flash. Like, the Flash is basically going in between all the Justice League worlds. And we get to the Batman world, and it's, like, Clockwork Batman, like steampunk Batman, which is sick.
Also, the Flash, Barry is back.
Yeah.
And it's like, no explanation given. Like, go read these comics. And I was like, I'm not going to read a Flash comic.
Yeah, I'm not going to go read those. But I like to see, like, the Batman's, like, pissed. He's like, you're interfering in my investigation. And Flash is like, okay, I got to fight Clockwork Batman. So that's a glimpse we get. And then we have Alan Scott going to, like, the Justice League Dark headquarters. And, you know, we see, like, Detective Chimp, who's, like, drunk and depressed. And, you know, they're looking for help here to defeat the darkness. So, like, it seems like everybody was, like, down and out. The Nightwing knows that Black Adam told them, like, the Great Darkness is controlling Pariah and the Dark Army, and they think they know that it's controlling Deathstroke. But then, like, the two Swamp Things are there. That they have, like, they're like, oh yeah, we've seen this darkness and this force before. And they're like, yeah, I've seen this before. Basically, when they meet Alexander Luthor, saying that, like, the crisis doesn't only affect the multiverse, it affects, like, spiritual dimensions as well. And, you know, a lot of comic book science here again. You know, Luthor is fighting Deathstroke. That's still happening. I just feel like, I don't know, these two books this week were, like, they were kind of making sense at the start of it. Now they're kind of, like, diverging from each other. Yeah. But I think the moral of it is, like, the darkness is taking over all the rest of the heroes. I mean, Lex Luthor gets taken over at the end, and Black Adam's like, oh shit, not again. And so, like, at the end of it, Pariah's holding he basically told them they're out of time, and he's, like, holding a bunch of worlds in his hand and saying a new multiverse will be born. So Infinite Earths Reborn is the next issue. I think they're trying to get at, like, you guys can't stop it. It's already happened. We're going to have a new multiverse pretty soon. So I'm guessing we'll see more explained in the next issue.
Yeah, I get the feeling that they want to get rid of the Omniverse.
Yeah.
And I don't blame them. It's too confusing. Like,
it is really confusing.
Just have a multiverse. Like, how they had it in 52, where they had a strict multiverse, and these are what we have. Mm-hmm. I understand that it does take away some of, like, that fun, like, we don't know what's out there kind of aspect, and the Omniverse brought that back a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think at the end of this, we're going to have back to kind of a tight multiverse with a certain amount, and I'm hoping that we're going to get back to a strict Earth 2 again.
Yeah, that would be nice.
And that'll be what this new Just Society book is.
Yeah.
All in all, I like this book more because it was more action. There was some explanation of stuff in here. There was some info dump, but they did a good job of cutting it in with action.
Yeah.
And then taking steps to explain things without explaining them, like the Flash thing. Like, Flash is back. If you want to know, go read this.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, he's back, guys. It's like, okay, cool.
Yeah, he's back. Okay, thanks. Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings. Issue 2. This is still a good book. A huge fan of Shang-Chi. The rings basically get stolen. Surprise, surprise. So now they have to get them back. because he gets betrayed. Shaolin Cowboy, Cruel to Be Kin, 4 out of 7. There's another we get to real time after they're talking about the past of him and how he there's guys out there that have fought with him before that want revenge, and they find him in this town, and he basically kills these lizards that he's befriended in this family. So now he pretty much comes out of hiding and is going to kill them. This book, I mean, Jeff Darrow's art's amazing. Batman Beyond Neo Year number 6. I don't remember if this was last week or 2 weeks ago.
That's this week.
Yeah, okay, that was the finale. I really enjoyed it, and hopefully, I think we're going to see. Yeah, it says Batman Beyond will return in 2023. The end for now. So I don't know if that means these guys are hopping back on, but I did like how they treated the character. Kind of wraps up the whole storyline with McGinnis. There was a cool reveal when Donovan Lumos takes over the sword, but then he's easily defeated from Batman with his master plan to destroy everything. And I think he accepts the fact that he's going to be Batman now moving forward. So I thought it was a cool storyline.
Yeah, he's got his team now.
Yep.
I like the new suit.
Everything
cool about it. So whether it's these two back or someone else, I'll be in for the next volume. I guess I just hope moving forward that we kind of stick to one continuity, and that this is the beginning of what we're doing, and we're not going to go back and forth
until Dark Crisis happens and Bruce comes back or some shit like that. Old man Bruce.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen this happen before. When Future's End happened, and we brought Batman Beyond in, and then he had his own book, and Bruce was dead, and Terry was trying to figure out his way through, and then, Bruce is alive. Look at that.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't shock me. But yeah.
Let's just commit to it this time. The Radiant Black issue 17. The story is really good. We kind of find out that there's the Radiant Black is shared between the two friends now. And the one Radiant that can see the future, the guy who can see the future, I forget what color he is. I don't know if he's yellow, but we see that Nathan. Is it yellow? Yeah, the original guy has Radiant Black back, the power, and the guy he talks to him. He's like, "All right, we're pretty much good. I'm going to go back to being Radiant Black." And the guy who could see the future is like, "This is not how it's supposed to be. He's going to get us all killed, pretty much. So something is wrong with the timeline, and it's not how it should be set up."
Yeah, that was a good issue.
Yeah, still good. Prodigy, are you reading this?
Nope.
Icarus Society number 3. It's good. The main villain isn't the main villain, and then it gets swapped. One guy's smarter than the other in every episode, in every issue. Still great series by Mark Miller. This one is kind of upsetting to me, not because I love the issue. Dark Knights of Steel, Tales from Three Kingdoms, contains a lot of cool stories from the Dark Knights of Steel universe. Mm-hmm. Just a little sad that we've had a 3-month break from this series, and we're stuck on issue 7 out of 12, and they're like, well, they figured they're going to do a break because we're halfway through the storyline. No, don't do a 1 out of 12 if you're going to take a break for a few months in between the storyline.
I was having this conversation with a friend, and this has been a DC-centric problem, but I blame Saga for it.
Yeah.
Where they have a book, and they're like, it's going to be 12 issues, and then they take a break at issue 6. Because if you look, there's a lot of DC books doing this. Human Target's doing it. A bunch are. And then we'll come back in a few months so the artist can catch up. It's why don't you have the artist get ahead so you can release it on time? Because it does get to a point where a book I'm really enjoying and it comes back late, and I'm no longer into it. Yeah,
it really ruins it for me. I love Tom Taylor and everything, but and I almost was confused. I'm like, how are we getting a side story miniseries from another miniseries that hasn't wrapped up yet? I was like frantically like, oh shit, have I missed issues? I'm like searching Comixology, don't see anything, looking up articles, nothing. So, I mean, overall, this is a good story. It's about like when the three kids are like when the kingdoms are kids and then teenagers growing up. I think it's a good storyline. We get to see the Robins. We get to see Bane, who's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
The Bane character is like a giant. He's like super anime, like giant sword. He's basically like Guts from Berserk.
Yeah.
And his character is really cool. And then obviously, like he gets killed because Bruce is like committing to the L family and all this stuff. Overall, some good stories in here. I really liked it. But yeah, like I said, my only gripe was like, where the hell's the main story? And then I had one more. There's a couple I haven't gotten to yet, but this is Batman 127. The Zur-En-Arrh Batman issue, which was fucking great. Batman goes to Zur-En-Arrh. We, find out this is like the Batman's failsafe in his mind that he created. You see like Bruce, a regular Batman, like fighting back, and then they have the Batcave, whatever it's called, coming back to like fight him, and he's losing. Failsafe is like beating the shit out of him, and he's like laying there unconscious. And then finally, like Superman shows up, and he's like, "Don't you be touching my homeboy." So that was a pretty cool shot of like him at the end, like busting in, like, "Okay, I need to help out here." Because at the end of the day, like, Superman's going to help his buddy out, you would think, right?
Yeah, and I like the addition of the Tower of Babel sequence as well.
Yeah. Yes.
Like, bringing that into all this, like, Chip's bringing in classic stories. It's awesome.
Yes, that's true, yep. That's all I had this week. I got to read Shazam still, Black Adam, Atom Smasher, Highball from Ahoy Comics. I got a few that I'm just behind on.
It's good to know we're behind the same issues.
Oh, great.
So I'll be quick on some of these. 007 number 2, really good issue, kind of explaining more about 003 and why she was taken away from the program, all that. Dead Lucky number 2, another Radiant Black tie-in book. Good fight sequence. We also get there goes the issue. The main character kind of gets a cool villain in this, where it's like because she has like a giant mech suit, and she fights a giant mech minotaur.
Okay,
so
awesome,
enjoyable. Captain America: Sentinel of Liberty number 4. This finally teamed up Steve and Bucky into like their missions kind of coming together, and then it was like 10 pages of Cap running around asking everybody, what does the shield mean to you? Which I'm getting a little sick of at this point in the book. But once they get past that, he has a fight with those monsters again, or whatever they are, the robot things from outer space, and ends up teaming up with them and convincing them to like they should be on his side. And the next issue is like the big one that we're all supposed to be really mad about. So I'm kind of anxious to see like what those guys have in store for us.
Okay.
Moon Knight number 15. This is the first issue after Moon Knight decides to use all 3 personalities again, and it kind of explains how he's going to use the different personalities to handle things. And it was really well done. I really like how he's using the different personalities to do different missions, and that Mark is basically just the enforcer of it all.
Yeah.
The Moon Knight series has been great so far.
Awesome.
Punisher number 6. Punisher fights Ares. The end.
Nice.
And he ends up losing the fight. He comes back, and like the Hand tries to resurrect him, and they do. And we find that like they're having trouble resurrecting his kids. So there's a whole sequence there that's kind of brutal. And at the end of the issue, Daredevil shows up. So yay for that. A Town Called Terror number 6. It was the big fight between the lead character and his dad, where he basically tells his dad to fuck off and cuts his head off, and then buries it in the middle of the woods because he's immortal and he can't really kill him.
Oh, okay.
And then so now he has a new mission where he has to go out and find a way to leave the town, because you can't just leave the town, you have to have permission. But a really good book, awesome art, love that series. Cool. And then New America #2, it's a good book. It's a lot of political intrigue in it, because like there's a terrorist attack in this. They have to figure that out. We end up finding out that the president of this New America is a little shady. And his brother, who we found on the last issue, is working for the FBI from the old America.
Right.
Ends up confessing to his brother, like, this is what I've been doing this whole time. So it's another cool cliffhanger. Much less in your face political stuff, but more like running of a country, like when shit goes down, when a terrorist attack happens or something like that.
What do you do?
So, cool series. I enjoy the second issue more than the first, actually. And that's everything I had this week, Mike.
Awesome.
So where can people find you on that internet?
They can find me at Fortress Ricker on Twitter. Where can they find you and or the show?
You can find me at Fortress Chris on Twitter, and you can find the show at Fortress Comics _ on Twitter. Also at FortressComicNews.com. All of our social links are there as well. And if you would kindly give us a review on the podcast of your choice, like, subscribe, share, comment down below in the YouTube version, and check out the Patreon at patreon.com/FortressComics. So I thank everybody so much for listening this week, and we'll see you all here next week.
See ya.